Welcome. Okay, so here's the situation. Godot, the game engine we'll be using for making this BITRIC game, is a handful. I finished all 27 lessons yesterday as promised, or the other day, and then I spent the next day just studying Godot, going through a couple of the game exercises, which I'll show you guys, and I'm not gonna go back through and find the names to the tutorials, but they should be pretty recognizable from the projects that we did, because I used the exact same files and whatnot. So I can go through and show you guys what we did there, but like, this is a lot. This is a lot of information, and I've just been studying and studying, but it's time to actually apply and to get our hands dirty. All right. So I'm not going to worry about the visuals too much because those should be pretty easy. I'm really confident in my design ability, but I do need to figure this code out and get the core mechanics of the system going. So here's how it's going to go. The game is going to be a play space, like how you've seen in our previous tutorials. And beforehand, we've been using the program Adobe Illustrator and screen sharing capabilities so that students can go to the screen share, or through Zoom, we'll go to a screen share, give the student remote control ability, and then they would control the computer from their end through Zoom in Illustrator, which is okay, but that's limited to only when we're inside of Zoom meetings. Now, the ideal is to be able to make a game where the player can access the interface from the internet, from our website. So it needs to be a blank play space with a flyout menu where you can select from a variety of play pieces, drag them out into the play space, allow them to snap into each other, and have a button that you can press on your keyboard that will clear all of the pieces that you have placed into the play space. I know I can do this. It's just crazy because it's putting all the pieces together. It's like, I can read the code really good. Like, I'm pretty sure it's pretty good. But it's like, I'm just not as familiar with all the controls and functions that are innate to JavaScript or really C# in general. So I know what I need to look for. I just don't need to do it. I just don't, I'm just not sure how to do it. So we're going to make use of our wonderful friend ChatGPT. Now, I know GPT-4 isn't the best at doing coding, but it's going to act as my assistant today as I continue to learn, so that I can write it out and then tell it, hey, I'm getting this bug, or hey, how do I get this thing to connect, or what am I supposed to be looking for? That way it acts as an assistant to me to help make this process a lot faster, so that you all don't need to watch me go through hours, or really so I don't have to go through hours of searching forums in order to find this information. Okay? So, yeah, we're just gonna have some fun with it and see how everything goes. I already have the project open, so let's hop over into here in Godot. And I'll drag OBS over here to the side. And, yeah, brand new blank project. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is we're going to start out with the 2D scene. All right, so we're going to start out with the UI first. That's just what I feel most comfortable being able to figure out. Because dragging and dropping the objects, creating several instances of it is, I need to figure it out. But I feel like if I can set up a UI space, and then through that UI space, set up a canvas or a texture connected to a button. Every time you click the button, the canvas moves, and then parent that button to the what's it called so that it moves. So you know what, I'll also open Illustrator so that we can I can show what it's supposed to look like. Let's make a new file. We're going to, or yeah, we're going to make a new file, call it 1920 by 1080, create. All right. Hold up, why isn't that working? Oh, because I switched it to Godot. There we go. All right. So the whole plan is to pretty much create a box. And this box, so this whole area, let me change the color. What's happening? So this whole space is going to be our play space. All right. And let me open up, where's our older projects? I'll just use this as an example for now. So we're just going to grab our milliliter piece and hop over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a menu. We're down here at the bottom in the green. Attached to it is going to be a little button. The button is orange. All right. And they're going to be grouped and parented to each other. Okay. So what you'll do in the game is we'll drag this down a little bit. You'll start out with an empty play space. All right. And you'll see this little button here at the bottom. Click on the button, it'll fly the menu up. Inside of it will be your things. Here will be your blocks. Then you can pull an instance of this block out into the play space. And then ultimately we want them to be able to automatically snap together and then move as a group. All right, and then you're going to be able to click on the seams in between them to ungroup the pieces, and then they'll automatically separate. So I want to separate whatever's in between the two. So if there was another one down here, then these two parts would still be connected. These two parts would still be connected. You're only separating along the seam. That's the core functionality of this game. Oh, and then I want to set up the C key so that it just deletes all of your instances in your play space. All right. And then again, you'll be able to click on that orange button. It'll have all this drop back down. So that's the project scope right now. Let's get this saved. All right. So we'll come back over here when we need to get stuff sorted. I don't think we need to do that now. But, oh, what are you doing here? Ah, I see. I need to make a new one. I need to make a new, what is that? That's a new window capture? Yep. New window capture. Come on. We're gonna call this Godot. Okay. So Godot window. All right, change this to Godot. Okay, there we go. Delete Illustrator. Yes, and I want to bring you to the bottom. All right, center you. There we go. So, all right, we're actually going to get rid of this node 2D. I'm going to delete that because I think the first thing we need to do is set up a container node. So we're going to do Shift A container, and then we're going to set this container to full rect. Inside of that, we're going to create a rect texture, or yeah, I'm going to select color rect or texture rect right now, and set that to already. Let's see, container by itself serves no purpose unless a script configures its children's placement behavior. If you don't intend to add a script, use a plain control node instead. Okay, so maybe let's try that. Yeah, we need a control node. And then do that. And now let me try to add the color rect. I will do the same, make that full, perfect. So this is going to be the background. We'll come over here, use RGB selector to give us a nice dark blue. I really like that. Okay, we're going to cancel out of that because color rect node. Let's go ahead and preview this. No. First, let's save this scene. We're going to create a folder for it. The folder's name is going to be scripts. Okay. And this is going to be the we'll make this the background scene. Okay. Because I'm going to want to come back and change this later and change this into a color rect when I get, I mean, not color rect, into a textured background node when I want that later. So we're just going to save that scene. Okay, perfect. Now we can go and make a new scene. We're going to call this, it's going to be a 2D scene. This is going to be the game scene. All right. Then I can, scripts. I didn't want this saving the scripts. I want this to save into scenes. So we'll rename this scenes. Okay, so then I can grab scenes, drag it over here. But I can't see it. Why? I don't know. You know what? We're not going to worry about that right now. So we're just going to get rid of that scene, go back to background scene. Actually, we're going to make a new scene. Go ahead and make it user interface with the control. Then I'm going to okay. I have a tutorial over here on my other monitor that I'm loosely following along with. Not even loosely, like really following along with. And I'm using it as a reference for this. So I'll be communicating it back and forth. If y'all want to go see the tutorials from App Development Guides, it's called Godot, how to make a menu fly up or drop down. Because that's really, I want it to fly up or down out of the space. So first we have to start out with making a button. All right. So this is going to be our button node. It's okay, Jelani. If you have to do it all over, it's whatever. So we're gonna make a button. Say click me, so that we can add some code to it. All right, so we'll come up here, add a new script, Control JD. We're gonna make a new scripts folder and call it what are we gonna call it? This is the menu. So open, create. We're going to rename this menu. Perfect. So we don't need process for this right now or ready at the moment, because what I want to do is come over here to button, go to node, click on pressed, connect. I'm going to connect that to the menu node. So on button pressed, I want it to print I've been clicked. Okay, let's save. We're going to save the menu scene inside of scenes. Perfect. And now we'll preview the scene. Okay, so when I click it, there we go. I've been clicked down here in the console. Perfect. So we know that that works. Now, okay, great, that works. We're making good progress. So now what I want to do is I want to make a color rect node. So Control A, color rect. I'm going to make it as wide. Nope. How do these work? Top wide, H center wide, bottom wide. Because it's child to the parent, or the parent was the button. I want it to be the overall space. So there we go. And we'll make this a little bit thicker. And I want this to be aligned to the bottom. All right, make it thicker like that. So this is going to be where our things go. Okay. So we'll save that and preview the scene. So again, if we click me, it says I've been clicked. Now what we want to happen is that on button click, we want to turn the H visibility of this color node off. So let me see if I can remember how to do this. Oh, right, I can flip, no, flip H. There's no shame in using help, so I'm gonna not try to do this by myself. Oh no, here, visibility, visible. There we go. Visible. So right now we're just gonna start off with turning this area on and off. Okay. So what I can do is come here. I'm going to go back into the script. So then I'm going to make, am I going to make a new function? Okay, on button pressed print. No, I need to create a new variable for color rect. Like this. So now I can go color underscore rect dot visible and set that to equals true. No. I need to make an if statement. So I'll cut this. Come down here. If, no, it needs to be still in the function on press. So if color rect visible equals true, then, nah, I'm just gonna go to the documentation. What did this do, right? Yeah. If color rect visibles equals false, so yeah. Okay, cool, got it. So I was doing the right thing. If the color rect visible, oh, it doesn't need these, it doesn't need the parentheses, that's what it was. If color rect visible, because it's calling this property within this variable, so it doesn't need it. It's a variable, it's a property, not a function, so we're not calling the function right now. If color rect visible equals false, so if we can't see it, and we'll turn off the visibility right now so that we don't see it, then we're going to set the color rect dot visible equal to true. All right, else I don't need this here. Oh, this needs to be indented properly. So else color dot visible equals false. All right, let's try that out and run the scene. So now the color rect is invisible. So let's make it invisible. Oop. Invalid get indexed visible. Ah, it's because I put in an extra S here. So now let's try again. There we go. So now whenever we click this button, it's going to make it appear and disappear. Awesome. Thank God. Okay. So now what we're going to do is okay, so this is going really well. This is going very, very well. So now whenever we click that button, it'll make the color rect become visible. So I'll rename this button on and off switch. Okay. Cool. What's next, Jelani? Now I need to animate it. How do I animate it? Let's look up a tutorial. Animate from button click to done. You know what? No, I'm going to ChatGPT. Chatty Patty, I need your help. So let's come over here to my GT script thing, and I'm going to tell it, hey, so I have a color rect node in Go connected to a button. I want the button, I want the color rect node to move every time we move down and then to its original position every time the button is pressed. How would I code this? Okay, now let's see what it comes in. To achieve this, you can use an animation or a script in Godot. Here's how you can do it with the script. Add a script to the button. Select the button node, click attach script button and scroll icon with a pen or right click the button and click add script. Create a new script or use an existing one. In the script, you will handle the button press signal and then move the color rect node down and back up to the original position. Here's an example of the script. So on ready var color rect. Okay, we already have that in our script over here. We already defined the color rect. Var move amount 100, var move duration 0.5. Ready. Connect the button's press signal to the button pressed function. Connect pressed self on button press. Not sure what that means. Move color rect. Okay, so function on button pressed. Move color rect vector. 0 move amount move duration. Okay, that makes sense. Function move color rect offset duration. Store the original position. Var original position equals color rect position. Create a tween node to animate the movement. Var tween dot new. Add child tween. Move down tween dot interpolate property. Okay, we're gonna start with the first part. All right. We want on button press. We want to move color rect vector 2, and then we'll set this to the variables. So that's 0. Oh, so yeah, we don't want it to move left or right, but we're going to set the move amount and move duration. We'll come up here and establish those variables. So var move amount equals 100 and var move duration is equal to, let's say 0.5. No, let's say 1 second. All right, save. Function move color rect not found in base self. Okay, so that's because we haven't defined the var, the function move color rect yet, which is all this code. Let's just copy and paste it and see what happens. All right, move color rect not found in base self. Cannot pass the value type string as int. Argument there should be string. Alright, cannot pass the value of type string as int. Alright, I'm going to remove all the animation code right now. So now the move color rect is going to be, so the first part is offset, then it's duration. So we're defining this node. Then it's going to have the variable of original position equals color rect position. Let's see what happens. Yep, it crashes. Perfect. I'm going to find a video tutorial. Godot animated UI. Let's see this one. So what I can do is I can create an animation and then, so I'll create an animation. Yeah, let's try that. So we'll come here, make a new animation. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to add a track. It's going to be a pop property track. It's going to be for color rect. And this is going to be position. Then I'm going to come over here to my speed scale. I can come back over here to color rect. Got it. And then I'll come here to where's position? Layout. Layout transform position. And we're going to take the Y value down to 0. Nope. This actually needs to go up more. So what we'll do first is we'll place keyframe here, and then we'll come back to the beginning, change this. Let's just do 80. That's too far. Let's try 700, 600, 650. There we go, like that. Okay, so it's going to collapse down to 650, right? Place a keyframe. So now it's going to animate from 650 up here. Let's play that through. Perfect. We're going to finagle the animation later. So now, save that. I'll come over here to my menu script. Got it. Then I'm going to, do I need to define a variable for, no, I don't. So then I'm going to copy all this out. So to turn, not copy, comment. Toggle comment. We'll play this real quick so that, yep, it keeps on telling me I've been clicked, but it doesn't disappear. So what we'll say is play. And we want to play the collapse animation. All right, so we save that. So it can't go in here. So I need to add a script to the animation player. Do I? No, I can use the get node, right? No, I don't want it to be ready. Does it need to be delta? So what if we did function process delta play collapse? No. No. How about this? If get back to GPT. So I want to play the animation of the collapse whenever my button is clicked. How would okay. Hold up. That's what I needed to do. I need to do animation player dot dot collapse. Okay, so now let's make a variable for animation player. Oh no, I did need to do this because I didn't call the variable yet. So copy this, this. No, animation player like this. There we go. Okay, so first I need to on ready the animation player. And then, so I need to call it first, set the variable so that it knows where to look. Then I'm going to call animation player play collapse. So let's save and test this. Wonderful. It works. It works. Okay. Perfect. So we're going to get rid of these two things. And I need to change this to an if statement. So how am I going to change this into an if statement? You know what? I want to try something. Can I child the button inside of here too and have it still work? Where'd it go? Yeah, it's not working. I'm gonna come over here into the animation player and just switch these around. That should solve that issue. So I get it to go down fine, but how do I get it to go back up? Here, I'll make a new animation. And then I'm going to say open. And then I'm going to add a position track to color rect. So that I can keyframe the position again. And then if I come back over here to collapse, I'll come over here to these keyframes and these two start at 540 and end at 650. So start at 540 and at 650. Nope. Well, I can set it and then I'll just switch them around. Okay. That's not working how I want it to. Why not? Should I collapse on the same thing? Okay, let's try this again. Keyframe the position. Set another keyframe. Why is it drawing a line? I don't know. So they're like extending from one another. That's what's going on over here. I don't know why it's doing that. Ah, it's because I didn't hit enter. That's pretty simple. So now I need to change their positions. Like this, we'll give it a playthrough. So that's open. This is collapse. Let's come back over here into our script. Ooh, okay. So then I can create a variable called status. Status is going to be start out equaling to 0. All right. Or I'm going to call it open. And this is going to be set to true. No, we're going to set it to false starting out. Okay. So now I can come down here and create an if. If open equals false, all right, so if open equals false, print I'm now open. And play the open animation. But you know what? I'm actually going to comment out this right now, because then I'm also going to come down here and put else print I'm closed. Okay. Also, I want it to then set open equals true. So let's try this out. Okay, so if I click on this, because it starts out false, it should say I'm now open. All right. Perfect. Now, if I click it again, it says I'm closed. Open, oh, close, close, close. Ah, that's because I forgot to put in the else statement to set open back to false. All right. So let's try that again. So now every time I click it, it should say on and off. Closed. Okay, I'm now closed. I'm now open. Cool. So we want to set the base state of this to 540. Let's go back into the 2D view so that we can test it out. Interesting. Correct. Let's try this then. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an onReady function where it's going to set the color rect node to hide. Oh, these are indented. Okay, I guess that was a false error. So we have function onReady color rect hide. Cool. Then function on button pressed. If open equals false, say I'm open. Else print I'm closed. Okay. Then I wanted to play open. And I want to call animation underscore player dot play open. Okay. So then I also want this to be set to collapse. Set open to true. Okay, so if the door is not open, then open the door. If the door is open, then close the door. Perfect. And then I also want to set color to show. Let's try this out. There we go. That's it. Thank God. Wow. This is going really good. Thank God. Thank you, jeez. I'm figuring it out, people. I'm figuring it out. Okay. So, oh, y'all can't see me this whole time? I forgot to activate my camera. Figuring it out. Let me brighten up my face some, because it makes me look really purple back there. Oh, hold up. Could y'all see my test this whole time? No, you couldn't. Wow. Okay, let me change this from a window capture to a display capture. Let's hide this and make a display capture. Or how about an application capture? Game capture? Go. Go game. Nope, I want to delete that. Yeah, let's just make a window capture or a screen. Display capture. Okay. I'm going to set this to the right side. Cool. Now you all should be able to see it. So now, whenever we click on, it brings it up. Whenever we click off, it turns it off. Perfect. Now, I could comment this out. So if we toggle comment and then try again, it's going to start off shown, then it'll come in, then it'll go out, then it'll go in, then it'll go out. So I just want the onReady command to hide it so that it doesn't see it. Or what if I made it so that onReady, let's say, just give me a second, I'm gonna give you something to do. Let's say color rect position is going to be set to vector 2, 0, and 560. $650, I mean. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make a constant called start POS. Set that equal to 560, no 650, and then replace that here with start POS. Let's give it a shot. Gave us error, non-existent function, position, in base. Color rect. That's because I don't want it to be a function. I want it to be a property. So I'll set it. Yeah. So okay, so what I need to do instead is go color rect position. And then I need to call the property with the in color rect. So it's not just position, it's rect position equals vector 2 vector 2 0 comma start. Okay, so let's save this and run it. Nope. Valid set index rect color rect value with the value vector 2. So let's just try position that. There we go. Okay, so I don't need to hide it. I can actually get rid of this code here because I just set the position to 650 at the start of every thing. You know what? How would I set a const with a value of a vector 2, or with a vector 2 value? 2 value. Yep. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set this to vector 2, and I'm going to set this to a value of 0, 650. And then I'm going to just change this to start PLS. Save. Let's give that a shot. Perfect. So now we have a button that clicks, and it has it come up, and it has it come down. It has it come up, and it has it come down. It has it come up, and it has it come down. Excellent. So now what I want to try to do is I want to add a button on inside of this color rect thing, and move this here so we can get the rest of the properties. So I'm a menu button. We're going to place that inside of color rect. We're going to place it right here. Test the animation. So now it moves everything inside as well. Okay. So now we're going to take that button, call the button pressed, create a new script. I'm going to call this sub menu. Create a new script called sub menu. We're going to save it inside of the scripts folder. I don't need any of this stuff right now, but I do want to call this button's pressed action. So connect. So it's already being called over here. So I'm actually going to delete this. And then I'm going to come back over here into button. No. Here's what I want to do. I want to create a new scene. So let's make sure that everything's still working properly. Whoops. Ah. Ah, that's it. Because I changed the name from color rec to sub menu. So let me just go ahead and change that back. And test this code out again. There we go. So now it plays, opens, and closes. So now what I can do is I can make a new scene. We're going to make this a user interface scene. Come back over here to 2D. And here, we're going to add a button. We're going to give this button the title of I'm a menu button. Okay. Save this. This will be called the sub menu or the pieces scene. And I'm gonna call this sub menu buttons. Save. I'm going to come in here into the button script. I'm going to make this sub menu button. Buttons script. Save this inside of scripts. Create. I'm going to call this sub menu buttons. Then I'm going to actually going to call this sub menu buttons to keep the name and convention the same. Remove these. Call the node when pressed. Connect. We're going to say print. I've been pressed. We're gonna make it say ooh. Ooh. Ooh, winky face. Okay. So then we'll save this and test it. We get a ooh winky face every time it's been pressed. Come back over here into the menu, go into 2D mode, go inside of color rect, and then we're going to go into the animation player, go to the start of the animation, and then inside of color rect, we're going to place these sub menu buttons. All right, like this. Oh, and actually, I don't even think I needed this. We'll see. Save, preview. Okay. So it was not brought in because it was not a child of the color rect node. So let's try that again. There we go. So now whenever we hit the on and off switch, it'll bring in a button, which we can then press, which triggers our ooh log. Okay, excellent. Is there anything else we need to do? Wow, that is big. I'm not going to worry about that right now because this is all kind of wonky and we'll figure it out as time goes on. This is version 000. Okay. So we'll save that. Now we have menu button and it can come up and come down. Okay, cool. So now before we finish off with the stream for the evening, I want us to do a couple things. I want us to be able to push. So inside of this menu button, I want us to be able to push it and have it generate a play piece. All right. Click on the button, generate a play piece out here in the play space, and then have us be able to move it around in the play space. Okay. And I think I know the code to get there. Well, let me look it up real quick. Godot instantiate. Okay, we're gonna follow along with what this guy's saying because this makes sense to me. First, I'm going to create our play piece. So let me drag this over here. I don't need all y'all up in my business. Looking through all my files and confidentials. Okay, so play spaces, interfaces. There we go. I really should have just made a symbols library. Nope, it's not here yet. See, I need to get on top of this. I've been slacking for too long on making that that file. Let me make it now real quick. Okay, so let me save symbols. I'll call this BITRIC blocks. See, it wasn't all that hard to learn, was it? Perfect. Now I want to bring out this dude. We're going to make him, let's make him 60 pixels tall wide. Yeah, let's make him 60 pixels wide. And that's still a little small. How big are these guys? They're 80? Yeah, I'll make you 80 pixels wide. I'm gonna send you into the asset exporter. We're going to call you the red block. And then we're going to export you into BITRIC Games select folder. Okay, so that's where I'm going to actually no. Yeah, it's already exported now. I should have put it inside of my assets folder. So I'll go over here to documents, games, BITRIC blocks, make a new folder called assets. And then I'll make a new folder called blocks. Put that in here. So now we should be able to come over here, make a new scene. This is going to be a 2D scene. Actually, no. Well, this is going to be a static sprite scene. Sprite 2D scene. Okay, cool. So now inside of this static sprite scene, we're going to drag in red block. Okay.
also going to change it to texture nearest. Nope. Linear. Nope. Inherit. Nope. I'm gonna just leave it at inherit for now because we'll get all the stuff together later. So we're gonna call this dude red block. Save him in scenes. Okay. And then when I come over here to the submenu button, I want to go inside of this button script and do what this guy says. First, I need to load it into the project. So what I'm going to do is go function underscore ready. Then I'm going to set the variable, or maybe I can just drag it in. Ah, I want the scene, not the object. So I need to do control click like this, or just drag it in. Nope. Why isn't it doing it like how I was doing all the others? It's weird. Yeah, I'm just going to use a load function. Var, this is going to be red block equals load. And we're going to bring in this right here. Okay, cool. Okay. So then we're going to go new instance. This is a new variable. New instance equals red block dot instance parentheses, and then I want to set the new instance position. So new instance Ooh, there we go. So now we've got an instance there. Let's finagle with the positioning of it. Okay. Position is going to be start ELS. I come up here and make a const for start ELS. It's going to be equal to vector 2. Have a value of 100, 100. All right. So now let's try. There we go. That's our button. Okay, cool. So now we're going to move all this from the ready command into on button pressed. Identify a red block not declared in current slope. Ah, that's because interesting. So what I want to do is I want to carry all this down here into the on button press. I'm going to switch this to pass. So now whenever... Okay, cool. So... Excellent. Right, because that's the sub menu button. What if I come over here to just regular menu? What if I do this? There we go. Perfect. So I'm going to hit F5 to set this as the current. We can turn it on and then have the button come up, which makes new things. So what I'm going to do instead is when we come over here to the script for sub menu, I'm going to set the start position to set the start position to 800, negative 600. Give that a shot. Nope. Let's try 800, 800 then. Let's move it back. Let's move it to 0, 0. Let's try that. There we go. So then it creates an instance of it. Perfect. I'm going to just leave it there for now. We can play around with the position of it later. Lastly, we're going to make it move. So quick, easy drag and drop. Okay, we're going to go Dami OS. Easy drag and drop system in Godot. So I need to go inside of red block scene and I need to give it a collision shape. Come back over here into 2D, set the shape to square. Give it some weight, some body. Okay. Oh, okay. And then I was also supposed to make an area 2D And this was supposed to be the child node too. Interesting. So I'm going to call this block. Add a script. Yep, we'll call it red block. GD. Put this inside of scripts. Open. Create. Red block. So on shape, on area to the so on area to the input event. Mouse, so then it's going to set the position equal to bit global mouse position. Then if event, oh, I should stop the sound before I get, oh, y'all can hear it anyways, it's fine. If event is input event mouse button and event dot button. Index. Close button. If event first selected equals true, else selected equals false. There we go. Now they're... Ooh. Okay, so my mouse stuck for a second. So it automatically snaps. It's not like you pinch it from the edge. It snaps to the center every time you click on it, which is fine. I can live with that for now. Okay, so now we'll save this. Now if we come back over here into our menu and start, we can turn everything on. We can set this to make a new thing, but we can't click on it. Interesting. Maybe what we'll do is we'll come over here to reg block, go to inspector, go to Z. Need to go to Z index. We're going to set this to 5 so that it can be in front of everything. That might fix this. Nope. Ah, I need to so what I think's happening right now is whenever, like, let's say we run this real quick and we create a new instance, right? It's creating it as a child of this submenu. So it's going inside of submenus right now, which is not what we want. We want it to exist on its own as its own scene in the game in 2D over here. So inside of the menu 2D. Or no. Here, we're gonna make a new scene, a new 2D scene. We're gonna call it game. We're gonna save this scene inside of the scenes folder. Inside of this, we're going to load menu. Push that up here in the upper left-hand corner. Okay. Then we're also going to bring in the red block scene. Drop that right there. And the sub-menu buttons is already in there. So now we're going to set this scene project settings, run. Change it to game. 5 to run it. Now we can move this around. We can create new instances, but we can't take it out. So what we want to happen is that we want this menu to create a new instance of red block and place it inside of the game scene. Got it. So let's see, create nodes by script. So we're going to create a new node. And we're going to block.
Awesome. This is great. This is excellent. Excellent. And now all I need to do is take this piece of code and bring it down here because we want it to happen after it gets added to the node. So let's try this again. So they seem to be overlapping. This is weird, but it works. We also need to figure out how to get them to stack on top of each other without overlapping. That's going to be important. Perfect. So what it's doing now is I don't have to switch the new instance position afterwards because now since this is adding it to the root game blocks group, now it doesn't matter about its current position inside of the submenu buttons because it's referring to the scene in game at the root. So now let's hit save and test again. So now whenever I generate a new block, it's going to show up right here at 100, 100. And now I can make as many blocks as I want. Awesome. This is great. This turned out really, really, really good today. Very good. So yeah, also let me test this out real quick. If we go inside of the remote location and come down here to blocks and then we can look over here to the left so that every time we add a new block, it's going to be added inside of over here. Now, one did go missing. We should have 4 in here. Now, am I gonna do this tonight? So now I can come back over here to the red block. And I'm going to make a function clear. And then this is going to run the Q key, right? Q key to go. Here, you know what? Actually, I'm going to save all my scenes, and I'm going to open a new project. How do I open? So I have to close the whole project. Yeah, I have to come all the way back here to the project list. I'm gonna go back inside of this little game I made earlier with a tutorial. It's a little roguelike shooter you can move around with and stuff, and you die when you get to a certain amount. I was experimenting with the game over screen, so I gotta fix that. But I need to come over here for the script for the enemies. Let's come over here to mobs. Where are you? Mob scene, mob GD. All right, and if health equals 0, Q free. That's what I was trying to say. Q free. So let's close this project and come back over here to BITRIC blocks. I need to come over here to red block to the clear function. We're going to put pass in for now to accommodate the engine. Let me look at this tutorial real quick. Let me come back over here and go over to the input selector for this game. I need to go to the player script. So input get vector. right, so let's come back over here so we can get this code. So here's my red block, right? And I have a clear function. So first I need to define the variable. Is this. So then
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to do this. So what I want to do is so every time the game starts, we have these instances of red blocks. We can see that over here in run mode down here. All right, red block. That's this right here. Now, whenever we create a new instance of it, it's going to create another block. All right, pretty simple. And this has red block area inside of it too. Now, what I want to happen is that I want to be able to hit the C key. So there's no stacking order here. Like if we set them both on top of each other and click, I gotta figure that out too. Interesting, because they're all picking up the click. But what I want to be able to do is just hit one button, hit C, and have them all disappear. So how would I do that? I know I need to use the queue free function. Cool. But so I made a new function called clear, which I need to apply to all red blocks. This is the red block code. So I want to assign a variable to a node. Yeah, it's like I don't know how to set it. It would be really cool if I could get this done tonight. All I need to do is figure out how do I mark these red blocks so that they get deleted. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set var, let's see, is red block used elsewhere in here? Red block. All right. So that's going to set this whole thing to var red block, I think. And then I'll put colon sprite 2D so that it knows that it should be looking for a sprite. All right, cool. Now, what I need to do is come down here and
So then I can do red block dot q free. So that'll clear it. And I'm also going to throw in print as well, so we can see, make sure that it's being triggered, cleared. And all right, I'm going to comment that out because I just want to text the function right now. Um, so all I need to do is put clear here. No, 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 no. Got it. So first I need to call the event. So it'll be underscore input event. All right. So then I need to set it up so that if input dot is action pressed, it should be clear. So if the input action is pressed, then I want it to print cleared. Okay. So let's try that out. I need to hit that. Okay. Cool. So cleared is working. Let's try that one more time. So if I hold it, it's going to continue sending the same thing. is action just pressed. Now let's try that. Okay, cool. So it's just whenever it's pressed once. So if input is action just pressed, then we're going to trigger red block.queue free.
Ha!
We did it. So we can turn it on, make a menu button, make another one. So let's say that we want to bring out 3 or 4 or 5. We can do that. Hit C, clears them all away. Thank God. That's going to be it for today. So what I did is that I had to set up the function input event. So this says that when a certain input gets triggered, when we get an input, we're going to trigger an event. Okay. Then we need to specify, okay, what trigger and then what event. First, we specify the trigger. If the input as action just pressed clear, which is anything that we set for cleared, then it's going to trigger the clear function and print cleared. All right. Now, what's the clear function? The clear function is queue free. So you know what? I actually want to experiment real quick. And what if I just put QUEUE dot no underscore free? What if I just throw this in here? Does the exact same thing. Okay, so this is pretty much telling us, yeah. Now I am going to put this back because we might want to use the clear function elsewhere. So we could wrap up the clear function into a global script, attach it to the entire project so that whenever we have any group, we can just hit clear and it clears everything. And that is what we will want to be done. So we would either attach a variable to every thing. Yeah, like we didn't even need to use red block in this. We just needed to trigger the event. So I'm actually going to get rid of this too, because we don't need it. We don't even need to have the variable. We just need to have this, you know, this kill switch inside of every block. Is whenever we hit C, you're going to die, and it's going to clear it. All right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do to close out the evening is I'm going to go up into project settings, go into input map, come here, set another code for the thing. I'm going to set up both delete keys, the backspace and delete key as well. So now if we rerun the script, we have a single one. We can hit C to delete it. We can create another instance. We can hit delete to delete it. And we're going to create another instance and can use backplace to delete it. So now we can create several instances of whatever we want. And then we can even collapse that down, drag them over. I want to see, will they show up on top? Yes, they will. So I can set that menu to a higher Z index. So let me try that out real quick. So red block. Let's check out your Z index. We're going to set this to 0. And then we're going to go to submenu. So we're going to go to the whole game and go to menu, layout, no ordering. We're going to give you Z index of 1 and test this out again. So now if I drag you down here, the menu is going to go on top. I'm so like that. I'm just so brilliant. I underestimate my greatness. I'm not trying to brag or anything like that. I'm just very pleased with myself. I am so pleased with myself with figuring this out. Merry Christmas, people. Okay. Now that's gonna be it for today. I am shutting Godot down. Thank you for joining us and sticking here with me for these last couple hours. And